Thank you for joining me.
Kiss your butt.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a special friend you are. From your head to your toes, we are special friends, you know. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a special friend you are. And you are special friends for joining me this afternoon. I've got lots of fun, easy ideas for fall. And fall is a good thing to focus on because so many of the schools now don't celebrate holidays. So it just makes sense to do seasonal things like around fall. And one of the most exciting ways to do fall is in your backyard or on the playground. I tell people the best science in the world is right outside your door. And one thing children love to do is to make treasure boxes to store the items that they find in on a nature walk. And so you just have them bring in cereal boxes or food boxes, cut the tops off, punch holes in the side, and then tie on a string, and you might need to help the younger ones do this. And then they have their treasure box. And I tell people, you know, teachers think, oh, well, I need to spray paint them or we need to cover them with paper. Remember, children are happy with plain vanilla. They're just tickled to death with something like this. And so before you go on the playground to collect things on your nature walk, signs of fall or leaves or rocks or whatever it might be, you need to remind them how many they can take, because if you say we're going to collect leaves, they'll put 500 in here if they can squeeze them all in. So might limit it to 1 or 2 or 3. Another thing I always tell children, you never pull things off a live tree or live plant. That would just that would hurt like somebody pulling your arm or leg. And so we just find things on the ground. So after you go on your nature walk and you find signs of fall or rocks or whatever you might be studying, you bring it back to the classroom, you dump them out, and you can sort the different objects, and then you can use them for a discovery center. Now, look how easy this is. You get a tub, you put the items that you find on your nature hunt, add a magnifying glass, some paper, pencil, maybe a field guide book, whatever it might be, and you've got a perfect discovery center for your science center. Children love to use a clipboard, so just a piece of corrugated cardboard with a butterfly clip at the top, and you could use this on a nature walk, and they could do I see, I hear, I touch, I smell. So even the young children who aren't ready to write, they can draw pictures. I mean, it can be a scribble. The whole point is we want them to make some connections here, and that's a good way to begin. I have another little leaf book. This one, you let the children collect leaves and they put them in a zip baggie, and then you give them a piece of paper and they can write a description about their leaf. Like, this leaf is yellow. If you work with older children and you want to tie in evergreen and deciduous, you could let them find an evergreen. You could let them find a deciduous leaf. You can do individual bags for the children, or you can staple them together and you've got a little class book. If you've never preserved leaves before, all you have to do is let the children choose a favorite leaf and put the leaf between several sheets of newspaper, or you can use paper towels. And you put the leaf in here and you put it in a book, and you put several other heavy books on top and leave it overnight. And when they come back to date, the next day they can open it up and see their leaf that they've preserved. And you could do leaves like this, but then another really good science thing is just to put leaves in a box and let them observe the leaves as they decay. And once they get decayed, you can rub them together and turn them into dirt again. Now, oh, and I have to show you my leaf rubbing. I'm sure a lot of you have done this, but you know what I found is we're so busy trying to give children things we didn't have, or failing to give them what we did have. And some of these simple things like leaf rubbings that, I've been at this rodeo forever and I've done forever. It's amazing that some of the children never have done this. And if they don't do it with you, they're probably never going to get to do it. And so you find leaves, and you need to take the leaves to the table. Or what else works really well is if you use rubber cement and you glue them to the table, and then they put the leaf on top and they can rub. And we always talked about the veins in the leaf, and then look at your veins and what's in your veins and what do you think is in the veins in the leaf. And it's amazing to me, some children have a difficult time learning letters or writing their name, but you talk about the veins in the leaf and deciduous trees and evergreen trees, and they catch on to those concepts just like that. Now, last year about this time, I did a Facebook Live where I turned a lunch bag into a tree, and some of you might have seen this, and some of you might not have. Otherwise, maybe it's just a good review. But you take a lunch bag and you make tears, about 4 or 5 tears from the top about halfway down. And yes, you can cut, but I like to tear because it looks more rustic, like a tree limb. And then you open it up and you squeeze it in the middle and you twist it, and you will have a tree. Now, you can use this tree for all sorts of different seasons, but in the fall, it's fun to give children construction paper and let them tear the construction paper into little leaves and then glue it on their tree, and they have an autumn leaf, a tree. And so you've just done all sorts of wonderful fine motor skills with this. If you take the strips on the tree and you twist them, this is another excellent fine motor activity, and the children twist them, then when they get through, they have something that looks like a spooky old tree. And this could, again, be a writing prompt, or you could use it for winter and let them paint snow on it, many different things with that. So I wanted to tell you about the October Happies. And Carolyn Kozlowski and I ache for some of the things that you all are going through. In fact, just wait next week. I've written something called 10 Things You'd Like to Tell Your Administrator, because we know that you're getting beat up, and we can't solve all the world's problems, but what we try to do is just give you a few little happy things, just some little joy, simple things that you can do to make your day more fun and to make learning more fun for the children. And so each month we have these packets, and Carolyn's put together this great preview packet for October. There are handshakes each month, like the one for October is the squirrel handshake, where the children will hold out their arm and you run the squirrel up their arm, and then they get to run the squirrel up your arm. There's cheers each month. One for October is the Harry Potter cheer. You're psh, 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 terrific. There are attention grabbers. The one for October is hocus pocus, everybody focus. So when the children hear you say hocus pocus, they put their focus goggles on and say, everybody focus. And you know what's interesting? If you can get the children to do this, you've got a better chance of them attending to what you want them to pay attention to, whether it's the illustrations in a book, whether it's, the different attributes of a shape, a sight word. If they do this, you've got a better chance of it getting to the brain, which is kind of interesting. There are transition songs, like one for having children sit down instead of saying, sit down. Everybody have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Everybody have a seat on the floor. Not on the ceiling, not on the door. Everybody have a seat on the floor. Or school glue, just a little dot will do. Put a dot and spread it all around. It will hold your paper down. You know how much I love finger play, so of course we've got the 5 little pumpkins, and Carolyn's created Play-Doh mats so they can roll the Play-Doh and put the little pumpkins out. This is Jacko Happy. This is Jacko Sad. This is Jacko Sleepy. This is Jack-O Mad. But Jack, all broken and in pieces small, and baked in a pie is best of all. Yum, yum. And what a great reading experience for young children this time of year. I mean, they can memorize the poem. They can make their little pumpkin books, take it home and share it with their parents, and their parents go, oh, look at you, you're reading. And that's what we want children to feel, that I am a reader. There's, of course, nursery rhymes, and there's a really cool nursery rhyme song where they fill in the missing line. Jack and Jill went up to fetch a pail of... And so that filling in the word, it really helps them with reading later on with context clues and filling in the missing word. There's a nursery rhyme club where if they learn a nursery rhyme, they can sign their name, and some little membership cards to the nursery rhyme club. Oh, but my favorite thing that Carolyn made this month, she's got a book that goes with the song. This is a tale about the letter tales. And one of the things each month, there are over 15 songs. This month there's 17 songs in the packet and 115 pages of ready-to-use activities. But I'll play a little bit of this song for you. And this could be used in so many ways. I mean, this could be used at a listening center. You could use this to transition children. Got the letter A, it makes a special sound. A, 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 A. Let's learn another sound. This is a tale about the letter B. It makes a special sound. B, 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 B. Let's learn another sound. So for each letter, there is an animal, and you've got the letter, you've got the sound, and children are using visual closure to figure out what the animal is. And sometimes grown-ups have trouble with some of these tales. This one for I is inchworm, and then the one for N is another one teachers often have questions about. N is a nanny goat, and I think you'll be able to figure out the rest of them. There are ideas for writing, and I have to tell you, the only comment that we had that was negative from our back to school Happies was from a teacher who said, there's just too much. There's just too much. I can't do it all. You're not meant to do it all. This is like, you know, a buffet. You pick and choose. But we just wanted to give you everything that we knew and everything that we could in one packet. So, no, you don't have to do everything, but just pick and choose what you like best. Think of it as going to a candy store. One of the things Carolyn does is she gives you activities to get the little hands ready before they write. And my favorite one was her Mickey Mouse one, where they put up their ears and then they open and close their hands before they get ready to write. There's a math song that I love called Chant and Write. And 0 is where it all begins. 0 is where it all begins. Curve down, around, and up again. So you've got the song, and you've got some little worksheets that you could use with it. And again, this would be something that would work well in the listening center. There is a song, a weather song, and then there's a graph where they can graph the weather each day. I know a scientist, and then there is a journal, so they can journal their science activities that they do. I have to show you the little blank book. This is one of my favorite blank books, and if you've ever been at my workshops, you've seen this. And it's just 2 sheets of paper folded in half. And when you do these books with children, a good idea is to do it with a small group. Say you've had a guided reading group or a small group activity, make the book with that group, and then they can go on and do an enrichment activity or reinforcement. I found if you've got like 4 or 5 or 6 kids around a table, you can help them individually. If you try to do some of these things with a large group, it's overwhelming. So made little tears about a thumbnail part, and then I fold forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards all the way down. And when I get through, I have a little book. And what's so good about this is it doesn't take staples. It's really good for their small motor skills. They're doing an opposite forward and backwards, so many things going on here. And you can use this book across the curriculum. You can use this for a book about signs of fall. If you're studying about the letter P, they can make a book of P things. You can make a shape book. You can make a recall book after you've read a story. You can make an autograph book. There are just a million different things you can do with this little book. And I've also found if you ever have parents in for a workshop, this is a really good book to teach parents how to make because it doesn't take anything special. And one of the reasons we want to make books with children is because then we send the book home and it puts a book in the home for some children who don't have books in their home. And a variation of this, if you use a colored sheet of paper on the outside and a white sheet on the inside, it really does look like a book. If you want a long skinny book, you just fold the paper hot dog style and you'll have a long skinny book, and you could use that for things that are tall. And if you want a smaller book, you just cut the paper in half and then make it that way. So lots of things you can do with that. And Carolyn also did a little shape. We've got shape activities this in the October Happies, but a little shape man that they can put together, and then that becomes the writing prompt for what you would do if you were a scarecrow. And there's also a scarecrow song. Well, I have been told that these Facebook Lives should not last over 15 minutes. And of course, when I'm planning these things, I'm thinking, oh, how am I ever going to talk that long? And then all of a sudden, you see me looking at my watch and thinking, oh, I better finish up here. So I'm going to finish up with a song. This is a song, The Backpack Boogie. And this song is a good one to do at the end of the day. And so we've got a lot of transition songs, so you don't have to tell the kids, get your backpacks. You just play the song. Once they get used to the song, the minute they hear it, it just becomes a prompt for them to let them know what you want them to do. So, well, Backpack Boogie doesn't want to play for me. Hold on a minute. Do I remind you of yourself? So sometimes when I can't find things, I just talk to the CD player. Dr. Jean, I want Backpack Boogie. There we go. So you put this on, and then you could play a game. Let's see if you can all get your backpacks and clean up and be ready to go home before the song is over. Get your backpack and clean out your desk. Throw all the trash away and take home your best. Put your books and pencils away. We're finished with school for today. Well, I think I'm finished for today too. Wishing you lots of happies. Oh, and if you want to download the preview, I'll put that link up. And if you want to get the whole packet, I'll put that up there too. See ya. Bye.